Lynn is not necessarily the city of sin. Learn why right here on Real Estate Talk Boston. Joined right now by one of our Boston power players, Soraya Cacici, Nest Forward up in Lynn, which is not the city of sin, by the way,
No,
right?
no, it's not.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
And I think it's one of those cities that are really kind of misunderstood. It has negative, history behind it, but it's really turning into a great place to live.
Absolutely, yeah. I often refer to it as the underdog city of the North Shore. Definitely has had a negative reputation for a long time. People, like you said earlier, Lynn, the city of sin.
Right.
But we're actually saying Lynn, the city that's in.
Right.
It's much more appropriate. People, I live in Lynn personally, so I have firsthand experience on the quality of life that one can have in the city, also with that affordability price tag. And same is true, we're hearing so much excitement coming from other folks. When we bring people into the city for the first time, for a tour, maybe they've never been before, they just hear about it. They're often just so excited and so pleasantly surprised, but also really confused about that, that negative reputation that they've heard. So we're working really hard to try to change outside of the city to try to change that reputation to a much more positive one.
What I think a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of Lynn is right on the water. I mean, it's a coastal city.
Oh yes, coastal city. I personally happen to live less than a mile from the ocean. So the quality of life, obviously, that one can have living that close to the ocean is pretty special. We also have a 2,200-acre state forest in the city, so you can, you can have a run on the beach in the morning and a hike in the woods same afternoon. We also have a downtown that consists of pretty spectacular 19th and 20th century industrial architecture. A lot of these old buildings have been converted into residential lofts. We also have so many fantastic restaurants and bars and cafes and galleries. There's real culture in downtown Lynn's scene, super vibrant. The commuter rail actually runs through downtown as well, and the city is working on a commuter ferry. We had the ferry for a couple of years and then we lost funding for a while, but they're working really hard to bring that funding back to make the commuter ferry to Boston a regular thing. So you talk about the ocean, the woods, a walkable downtown. The quality of life is just, without leaving the city, you really have everything that you need in one place.
It's easily accessible to Boston, and in a market right now where I feel like a lot of people are just getting priced out of the Boston proper market, right?
Yeah.
And prices are crazy.
Absolutely.
And they're not exactly sure where to look and what their options are. A place like Lynn, I'd like to talk about price point because it really, in most cases, you're almost probably cutting yourself in half from the Boston prices, if not even more.
Oh, yes.
And you're a quick boat ride or train ride into the city with your own little micro city there.
That's right, yeah. So we're 10 miles to Boston, 2 stops to North Station on the commuter rail. That's about a 20-minute train ride. In terms of pricing, it's a very hot market in terms of it being a seller's market, like many of the markets around Greater Boston. Right now we have about a month and a half supply of inventory, which again is an indication of a really strong seller's market. In a healthy, balanced market, well, I don't want to say healthy, but in a balanced market that's neither sellers or buyers, just kind of somewhere in that middle, typically we see like a 6-month level of inventory. So inventory is low, but just as an example, for single families right now, we have about 63 homes actively on the market. Those range in price from about $190 for a 1-bedroom, very small fixer-upper single family home, all the way up to just under $1 million for a very sizable, gorgeous Victorian on the ocean with ocean views. So when you think about being able to get a large Victorian home on the ocean for under $1 million, that's pretty compelling. It's
one of those cities. It was really known for its industrial build for a long time. But like you said, a lot of those big industrial buildings are being converted
That's right.
to condos and new commercial space. It's also known for its lofts, right? I mean, it's one of those cities that has a lot of lofts, which is not that common in a lot of other areas. There's just a ton of opportunity, especially for somebody that's trying to get ahead or get that deal or next market that's going to be hot.
Absolutely.
Lynn is a great option.
It's true. Also, for investors, commercial properties that are really based in that downtown core, commercial mixed-use properties, there are so many opportunities for investors to do like condo conversions with maybe some ground-level retail. So on the commercial side of things, there are some pretty great opportunities as well.
It's all about opportunity. That
That's
is some
right.
great information. If
Yeah.
you'd like to connect with Soraya and her team over at Nest Forward, check out their website, nestforward.com,
Yes.
and connect with her on social media. And remember, we have more tips just like this right here below on boston.com.